If you've ever wondered how to price your product or service to attract customers without losing profit, or you're just looking for where to refresh your understanding of how pricing impacts business strategy, then you are in the right place. Hello, my name is Onye Obianaya and welcome to Business Strategy 101. If this is your first time here, I am a business analyst and strategy consultant, and in this video, I'll be walking you through the key pricing techniques that businesses use to attract customers and scale sustainably. Let's get started. Just jumping right into it. So, what exactly is pricing or pricing strategy? You can call it just pricing too. So, pricing is just the process of determining and setting the monetary value of a product or service. In other words, it is just the process of saying that, okay, I want to sell, maybe I want to sell this phone, and then you're like, how much do you, somebody will ask you, how much are you selling it for? So the process of coming up with a price for what you are selling is coming up with an amount to say that this is the amount I'm going to put on this thing. For example, this class that we're having right now, those are coming up with, okay, I want to talk about something, I want to share knowledge, that's my own product. How am I going to price it? We're just looking at how people come about putting a tag on their value or their service or their product. So you can also see here that I said pricing is equals to perceived value, what people assume is the value of that product, minus discounts. You always like your customer to feel like they're at an advantage, right? That getting your value or your product or services as an advantage plus psychology. So you have to understand how your customers' minds work, like what do they place value on and how would they like to pay for this? How much do they think this thing is worth? So that's how people come up with pricing. It's just perceived value minus discounts plus psychology gives you your pricing. That's what pricing is all about. And we're going to look at different types of pricing. So there are so many types of pricing, like strategies, right? Different ways that people price their products, people put value on their products. But for the course of this class, we're going to be talking about just 6 types of pricing. But there are so many other ones if you go and like do more research on them and all. Those are like the most important ones or the basic ones more or less. So the first one is cost-based pricing. So cost-based pricing is just saying that this is the cost price for this produce, right? For this product or for this service. This is the cost price, how much I used to be able to acquire it. And then you just add a little markup on top of it as your profit, right? And that's your cost price, cost-based pricing. So even in the last class, I think it was in the last class with or the last 2 classes, yes, we spoke about a few of these pricing strategies. So we're going to go a little bit more into them again today. That's cost-based pricing. Then we have value-based pricing. Value-based pricing is more or less saying that, okay, this is the cost I spent to make this, and I've added a little markup to it, right? That's just like a little extra money that's like supposed to be your perceived income. But then you now say that, okay, the way you sell these products to the market, the way people are buying, they're not really buying it because of maybe because of the functionality. They're buying it because of like the value the market or the people in the surround value that people have placed on it. For example, like an iPhone. An iPhone is basically produced with the money they spend to produce that, like to make an iPhone, right? It's very minimal compared to how much it is sold. But what is selling is more or less the name. Designer brands, all these Louis Vuitton, Balenciaga, Gucci, and the rest, right? They practice value-based pricing. The item itself, maybe a clothing line or something, may not, you can get the quality, that same quality at maybe like a cheaper price for a cheaper brand, but because of the perceived value people have placed on the name of that item, they are willing to pay a higher amount. So it is called a value-based pricing system. That is why they are that's the type of pricing that they are operating with. So it's called value-based when the product that you are selling is sold at a higher amount based on the value of what people believe that this thing is worth. That's value-based pricing. Then we have competitive pricing. Competitive pricing is just a method of pricing where there are a lot of people in the competition in the market space, right? A lot of competitors are in that space. So your pricing is more or less just trying to match what your competitors are also pricing. So it's a way that just says that, okay, somebody is selling something for, let's say someone is selling something for 5,000 naira for a battery or something, and then your own is 5,500, or your own is 4,500 naira. So that's a competitive pricing, a pricing that is close range with your competitor, so that people can actually come and purchase your own and not the other person's own. That's another strategy that people use when they are making, when they are pricing their goods and services that they sell. Another one is penetration pricing. So penetration pricing is more or less for people that are coming into, like, let's say a new market, right? And you want to gain market share. So if you can see this image very well, you can see there's this set market price that people in that market is already operating on. For example, let's say what will I use now? Let's say a which brand? Okay, let's just say like a pencil brand, a brand that sells pencil. Maybe the market price for buying a normal one pencil is like 115 naira. But then this brand is a new brand. They're just entering the market and they want to gain market share. They want people to start patronizing them. So they decide to lower their pricing. So penetrative pricing is that you're going to make it lower than the market price, lower than the average market price that you can get it in the market. So it's going to be cheaper than what people are selling, and it's done so you can attract customers to your own brand. So that is penetration pricing. Most people that do pension pricing start out with pension pricing until they've gotten like the market share that they are looking for. For the people have gotten like used to their brand, and they can now start like raising the price up more. But their initial pricing strategy will be like pension pricing. Then we have premium pricing. It's premium and freemium. So freemium is just saying that some things are free and some other of the services are paid for. At the same time, it's similar to value based. So for you to get more features or more services, you have to pay more for it. So that's premium pricing, putting your pricing in a way that um some items are going to cost lesser than the other, but within the same, like for extra features within the same, for the same product, to get extra features, you may have to pay a higher amount for the value of that. Then we also have bundling. So bundling is basically saying putting two or three items, services or products together in a bundle, or in a, you buy, putting a price for these three things at once, that you can purchase them at a lower price, a discounted price, from buying them individually. So similar to something like upselling or cross-selling for those that are like into marketing. So it just says that, okay, I sell, maybe I sell hair cream, but if you buy this hair cream plus this comb, instead of paying 4,000 naira, you can just pay 3,500 naira. So you put it together. Or even if it's a service you're offering, you can say you offer um teaching services, right? You can say if you want one-on-one coaching plus regular teaching services, or if you want access to, maybe you have some books for sale. If you want access to these books plus regular teaching services, you can get it together as a bundle for so and so price. That's another type of strategy that some people also practice. So that is bundling. So there's so many other ones out there, but these are the most common ones that people actually use whenever they are in a market space. So you can actually, sometimes you can start with one or two of these pricing methods, and along the line, you can decide to change your pricing method based on how you're perceiving your market, right? The market that you are in, the target audience, and all of those things. When you consider those factors, if you think it's going to be more favorable to change from one pricing strategy to another, you can decide to change. But then it's also very good when you're picking out the first one, pick out one that actually suits or favors where you find your market segments, and then you roll with it from there. So now, thanks for watching. I hope you now have a clearer understanding on different types of pricing techniques that businesses use to attract their customers and stay competitive. If you'd like to learn how to choose the right technique for your own business model, please check out my next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you, and bye.